and Community Center, located right here in downtown Hicksville, Ohio, for our June edition of the Huber Happening Live. I'm HIX-TV's Bill Murphy. Brian Williams is behind the iPad Pro. We're handheld today, so if it's bumpy a little bit for some of the live stream, that's because we're going to be moving around. There's a lot going on at the Huber today, and Chris Feitcher is here with us. And Chris, this is one of the fun times here at the Huber. I know everybody here looks forward to this time of the year every year because it's youth theater camp happening right now.
It sure is. We have 44 students ages 6 to 12 who are involved in Stone Dragon Stew, which is our upcoming performance on Thursday night. So they had last week, they did things like audition for their parts. They practiced their parts. They've learned their blocking, which is where they're going to stand on stage. They've learned songs to go along with it, and they've helped make some of the props and so forth that we're doing. So they've been costumed. I mean, we did all of that last week.
Yeah. Now, if people are not familiar, the youth theater camp. First off, this has been going on here at the Huber for quite some time. Yeah. It began, I don't know, years because my wife actually was one of the people that ran it for a few years. I think Corrine Hern was involved with it. I mean, going way back. So this is a long-standing thing, and the whole idea is to give the younger kids an opportunity to be able to not only perform, but to be able to learn about theater, and it may be a setting a little more on the professional side than you would get if you were in school or whatever, because the kids will do stuff like this at school, whatever. But this is really an immersive type thing, because the kids really do everything. I mean, there's adult supervisors, but as you mentioned, I mean, from props, costumes, painting the sets, backstage, on stage, the kids are the ones that are doing all the work.
Absolutely, the kids are, and with a wonderful help of 16 of our teens who are interns, and those kids are ones who are involved in our next production, which will be our Summer Academy of Guys and Dolls in July. So they'll start their camp next week, but they come and volunteer and help out with these little kids and teach them a lot of skills. They teach them terminology. They keep them going from place to place and supervise them and answer a lot of questions. And of course, you know, the Band-Aids. And we already had a loose. We always lose a tooth. Somebody lost a tooth last week, so we've done that already this year. So yeah, take care of all of those little things for us. So it's so wonderful to have them, and I think they learn as much as the little kids do some years.
Because you never know what to expect when you're working with little kids, and sometimes they come up with some of the most ingenious solutions for some of the theatrical problems. It's like, how do we want to stage this? And some little kid will go, just do it this way, and everybody just sort of looks at each other like, why didn't we think of that? So it's a lot of fun, and again, a lot of kids come out. This is a big deal every year, and as you said, over 40 this year, right?
Yeah, we have 44 campers this year in this camp, and I have 28 teens involved in starting next week. So it really does encompass kids from like a 6-county area, about a dozen different schools in the area. So it's a great opportunity. We include our homeschoolers, and it just is really wonderful for those kids to mesh together and get to know each other too. It's a wonderful place to do that.
That is true. So again, we always hear about the camaraderie of sports and all of the sports clinics and everything going on. Theater is the same way. I mean, you're still a part of a team, and you still need to learn to work together and trust and rely on everybody else. And again, it is a great experience. And again, it's one of I guess, we're okay. You can come on behind us. It's one of I guess a three-pronged thing that you have here, because these are the little kids, and then as you mentioned, then you have your juniors, which is the older kids, the teens, and they do more, I guess, traditional type of production. As you mentioned, it's going to be fun this year because they've got a classic musical that they're going to be performing. I've seen them coming and going. I don't know if that was for the auditions or whatever, but you've got Guys and Dolls coming up next month.
Yep, we do. Guys and Dolls. It'll be on Saturday and Sunday performances only on July 20th and 21st. So that and we hope you can come out and see that, because they really do the full performance, and with all of the talent that we have from all of these schools around, it's a very professional professionally done show. So we enjoy that a lot. Yeah.
And then the next, of course, is the Opera Lane, the adults, and those have their next show auditions are near the end of July, correct?
Yeah, July 29 and 30 for Little Shop of Horrors. The dates for that are October 11, 12, and 13. So, and that will be a dinner theater.
Okay.
So, yeah, but that'll involve our adults, and some of our older teens will be involved with that show also.
Yep. And have you got things set up for the puppeteers and everything else? If you're familiar with the show, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to spoil it if you're not. But you got everything all set for?
Yep. We
for
do have
Audrey?
a set of puppets for Audrey. So yeah, we're all set there.
All right. Ought to be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun too. Right around Halloween, it fits right in. And then of course the Christmas shows will be coming up after that. And as we get ready to wrap things up, we'll go over the schedule once again so everybody is up to date with what's coming up here at the Huber. But again, today we really kind of want to focus on Stone Dragon Soup, which I've heard the Stone Soup. You know, I'm familiar with that. So this is, I'm taking it's a twist or a variation on that.
It very much is. It's very farcical and makes fun of a lot of things. It's a medieval setting, of course. You know, they have a town that's dragons trying to play tricks on, and so they have to go out and find knights to come and fight the dragons, who then of course that's done in very many different ways, and then of course the stew comes in at the end. So I won't spoil it, but it's a really cute show, and it's only going to last about 40 minutes.
Okay.
It's a shorter program. Obviously we only have 6 days from 9:30 to 2. That's it. And that includes lunch. So it's, hours-wise, it's a very short number of hours that we have to put this together with the kids, but they just soak it in.
Yeah.
They were all to memorize their lines this weekend, so now they're on stage without their books after 3 days. Today's day 4, so no books today, and they are up there rehearsing and getting everything cemented. So,
All right. So yeah, they're ready. And again, show time is this Thursday 7 p.m. And now this is again free will offering to come in. So again, it's a great way to come by not only to support the kids, but you can also do a free will offering to help support the Huber. Always appreciated. Another thing that I know you appreciate, that this would not be happening without your staff and your adult volunteers.
Absolutely. This show is directed by A.J. Swanson, and many of you know him as a minister in town. And then our older kids show is Julie Hall, who's been doing many productions here too. So we've kind of done that. Early Harris is our music director for both shows, and Sydney Fote, who is a college student working on an education degree, so she's working with all of the tech stuff upstairs for both shows. So those folks are really our core production team, and then we add in other adults as we need to help with things. But yes, those are our key adults that help with everything. Oh, I need to mention Dan Blau, who also does the set. Okay. So he puts all our set pieces.
Harris is actually working with them on some of the. It's not a musical per se, but you can't have a medieval town without the medieval type music and the Renaissance fair type of atmosphere. So they're kind of working, I guess, on, I wouldn't want to say background music, but supplemental music.
Yes, and we do that like in between scenes, so while they're changing the scenery, the kids will come out and sing between 3 or 4 the scene changes. So yeah, it's been a whole group effort, and the kids love it. Like they really do, and Early does such a wonderful job with them getting harmonies even in this age level group. So yeah.
Early is great. As a matter of fact, why don't we see if we can sneak in and see if we can check out some of the musical rehearsing going on here in the background. I'm going to open the door. And so she heard us coming.
This is live TV, so I need you to come together very quickly.
Come on up here, kids.
I need you to sing one of the songs that you're going to sing. Can you do that? What do you got? What do you got?
Sing cuckoo. No. Loudly sing cuckoo. Sing the grove and meadow blossom, wood the spring anew. Sing cuckoo.
It's your first year? Okay, raise your hand if it's your first year. Okay, raise your hand if it's your second year. Third year? Ooh, fun? Has it been a good theater camp? What's your favorite thing so far?
My favorite thing so far has probably been
What's your favorite thing?
music and costumes.
Now this is a little bit. Oh, I was going to give you credit for teaching them to play the ukulele on top of the beautiful singing we just heard, but they already knew how to do it. So this is always fun. I mean, you're heavily involved with the music here at the Huber Theater. This is Early Harris, by the way. I know her so well, I forget to introduce her, and everybody else doesn't know her the way I do. But you work with these youngsters, and you have for many, many years. A good group this year?
Very good group. Yes, very good.
All right. And how about you're also involved with the very early stages, but are you looking forward to, it looks like you got a pretty good crew. I've been seeing some kids come and go for auditions for Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
People may not remember during COVID, the show that was canceled at the high school musical that year was going to be Little Shop of Horrors. So I knew you were involved heavily in that. So I was thinking that, well, they might have just drafted you for the production here, but that's okay. So tell me, what are the kids going to, we've been sort of touching on it a little bit. But
Sort of a medieval vibe. So we're going back to some of the very oldest English songs in recorded history.
Okay.
So Sumer is a Cumanin is how we're starting it. That is a song that they think might have started in the 1200s. That's the first recorded instance of it, but I know it's older than that. So we are learning some music history and some of the repertoire, as well as having fun with the music this week.
all right, so you kids looking forward to the show on Thursday?
Yes.
All right, invite everybody to come out and see you?
Yeah.
All right, so again, this is the chorus, and we're letting us interrupt your rehearsal a little bit. I know it's getting close to lunchtime for you, so we're going to head on out early. Always a pleasure to see you. Keep up the good work. And let's head back out into the foyer here in the Grand Hall, and we'll shut the door behind us so these kids can get back to work. Good seeing you all. Have a good rest of your day, and break a leg.
Right now, but all of the kids will be doing the songs all together. So,
Well, like I said, it's you have it seems 44 seems like a lot of kids, and I guess it things to do.
correct. Yeah. They were much busier last week when they were making, some of the props and doing costumes. But now that we're doing pretty much a straight run through of the show, we need all of these.
Deans, how do you set that up for the kids?
Okay, so this particular play had 30 parts. We have 44 kids. So some of the parts we split. So if there was a weaver part, we have a weaver and a bobbin as the second part. And they just split the lines in half. So a lot of those parts have been split up so that every kid has a couple lines in the show, at least, like 3 or 4, so that they get that opportunity to speak. This is their first day to actually wear a mic. So we have 22 mics, so we've talked to them about, you don't touch the mics, the interns do, but it's because we have to share them. But yes, and we're using some of them are using some handheld mics, but we want every child to be heard. Those 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 lines that they have, mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, want to be able to hear that line, and we want to be able to pick it up upstairs so that we can actually, hear them. So we're making sure that they're all mics. So they've got mics on today, which is something new. That's the thing we're doing new today.
Yep.
So, but
well, the days of being on stage and just having a loud bellowing voice are long past. So
long past. Well, and they can do a great job of screaming those lines out, and then they get in front of a crowd of 300 people, and they're like this. So we have learned. We just put a mic on every kid, and then we can flip that mic up a little bit if they're not very loud. So they are doing that today. But we can travel on into
all right,
the
let's go into the main auditorium.
and we'll see where they are on the show.
We'll whisper a little bit here as we come down. And again, A.J. Swanson is the director, as you can see him up there on stage right now. And we might be a little bit in shadow, but we'll let Brian point up towards the stage to see the action going on up there.
Okay, great job, everyone. Give another round of applause. Very good. How do we want to work this? Do we want to music right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you want everybody to come in here?
All right, so looks like we're going to get a little bit of a preview here of Stone Dragon Soup.
Everyone head into music except scene 2. Scene 2, stay here. Everyone else head into music with Earl.
Okay, how are you, Bill?
How you doing, AJ?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, directing?
Yes.
Now, people know you as a minister. A lot of people probably do not know, but you have a theater degree.
I do have a theater degree,
Yeah.
yes.
So that is working well for the. How are these kids been for this last week and today?
Kids have been great. It's super excited to be in this capacity in the community because I actually get to use the degree and I like working with kids. So it's a blast.
And this is a. I don't want to do any spoilers, but this is a fun show.
This is really a farce. I mean, it is absurdist humor. There's a lot of funny moments. And the kids, right now, it's the key for the kids is getting them not to laugh at their own selves and what they're doing, which is exactly what you want. So it's doing great.
All right, it sounds good. Now, you're going to do a little scene for us here, I understand?
Yeah, we got scene 2 coming up, and we're going to be rehearsing it here.
All right, that sounds terrific. Now, again, we want to encourage everybody to come on out. Your performance is this Thursday evening. And as Chris was telling us, the show time runs about 40 minutes, give or take, so it's not a really long show. But again, you only have 2 weeks to prepare, so.
It's a one act, but it'll be a little bit longer than 40 minutes because of Early. She comes in and works with music for the kids. It really is a great asset to kind of learn how to do some musical stuff. So it'll probably run closer to 50 minutes with the music that we're adding to the show.
Well, it's worth investing an hour to see a great show.
Absolutely. And to support the kids in the community.
That is true. It's a free will donation again, so when you do come out, you can help support the Huber. And part of what the Huber does is this theater camp every year. And I mean, we were just talking with some of the kids in Early's room. I mean, some of these kids have been doing this. This is like their 4th year or whatever. I mean, it gets under your skin, doesn't it?
It does. Theater is a little bit of a disease that when you catch it, it's really hard to get inoculated from.
That's true.
So
That's true.
You don't have to do a 6 feet of distance, though, with this disease, which is good.
Yeah, but that is true, like I said, and it is hard to, I'm almost 63, and I still got it under my skin, too. So, again, I want to thank you so much for allowing us to be out here and give us a little bit of a preview, and we're really looking forward to it. It's always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Swanson. So, again, we'll let you get back to work. You don't seem, they're not scared of you. You're not doing the Otto Preminger type of thing, so
No.
you're... So we'll let you get back to work. We'll get ready to enjoy a bit of a preview performance of Stone Dragon Soup, which again is opening on Thursday night. One performance only at 7 here at the Huber. So we'll let AJ get back to work, and we'll stand back and we'll enjoy the performance. Break a leg.
Thank you.
All right.
While they get set up, you can see some of our interns, if you'll pan over this way, who are finishing up some of our set design. We just kind of ran out of time for some of the kids to do that, so the interns fill in the gap, and they're doing the painting today to get one of our props ready. So they just do everything. The interns.
Now, how many interns do you have?
16.
You said 16 of them?
I have 16 interns here.
And these are high school age kids or early college?
Junior high and high school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or early college.
Because I think I recognize a couple of them that graduated this year. So
Yep,
so
but
they'll
there are what we call our Huber kids. So they're our family, and they're in the next show.
I mean, I was
So-
again. I can't get over 4 years doing this, and then they move into the junior. So I mean, there could be. You probably have kids that have been working here doing stuff at the show for over a decade. I mean,
Yes, we do. We do. We've had kids that have come through the program since they were like 6 years old, and now they're 16 and 17 in the show. So they love it. And like you said, you kind of get that, in your skin, under your skin, and it just have to keep coming back. So, okay, if we want to move back out there, or do you want to stay in here and see?
We'll just sort of sit here, and I'll move back, and I'll let Brian take over when they actually get started. I do want to make mention, though, here real quickly, while we do have some time, that all the things that we've talked about in terms of the upcoming performances, other information about the Huber, are easily found online. It's www.huberoperahouse.org. It's all one word. You can go there. The office is open from 10 till noon, Tuesday and Thursday, but all the contact information is on the website, upcoming schedule, and we get closer to some of the shows. You can actually get your tickets online. The links for that are on that website as well. So just bookmark that on your device, whether it's a computer, your tablet, your phone, or whatever, and it's a great way to be able to keep up to date with what's happening at the Huber, along with, of course, these promos we do every other month. And, of course, we will have another one coming up in August, and we'll be able to talk about, again, things coming up for the fall and the winter, and we'll also be able to sort of recap how things went with the youth theater at that time. But, again, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel, and we do want to thank the Huber Opera House and Community Center. They underwrite these programs so that we're able to bring them to you every other month to keep you up to date with what's happening here at the Huber. And don't forget, if you have an event coming up, whether it's an anniversary party, a bridal shower, a wedding reception, company event, whatever, the community center and even this main auditorium are available for rental, and you can get that information either by contacting the office or, again, go online, huberoperahouse.org.
Correct. I also want to mention the other exciting thing that's actually organized by the mayor's office, but happens here, is our summer concert series on the patio. So we just had one last Thursday. There is one next Thursday. Not this week because we have the show, but next Thursday. And then it'll be the third Thursday in July and the third Thursday in August. And each one of them has had a little bit of a theme. Last week it was Ladies' Night Out. So kind of we organized that kind of on top of what the merchants and things we're doing in town. Next Thursday it's going to be a kids' night. And so we will have games and things set up for the kids, and they are going to have food available also.
Yeah, Lifeline Connect, I think, is going to be here with free burgers and dogs for the kids.
Yep, they're going to be here for free food. And then in July and August, we have, like in July, it'll be like a vendor fair or craft fair. So if you have, things that you'd like to sell, we're going to set up here on High Street and have the music. And again, we'll have a food truck. Then in August, it is a farmer's market. So people, I know they have the farmer's market a couple times, but August, it seems like they always have too much. So we're having a farmer's market for them to have another opportunity to sell to folks here in town their produce.
All right. So they're underway, so we're going to stop talking, and Chris and I are going to have a seat, and we're going to give you about 5 or 10 minutes of the performance here. Again, this is Stone Dragon Soup, Stone Dragon Stew, a preview coming up right here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel.
Make sure you're grumbling.
But they kept on searching for a night to save them. Because they wanted anything in the world was for life to return to normal.
Okay? And we want to make sure that doesn't, you don't want to move your legs much, okay? You're just moving the mic back and forth. Hey, you say to normal, and you exit. Yes. Give them the voices. So your light set inside the black curtain for the shop. Clearly don't go back. You'll do the whole scene there. There, turn around, flip the coin.
Whoa!
Good morrow.
Good morrow, fair travelers. Where is Speedy bound?
Hello? We are in search of a knight who can help us. Do you know where we can find him?
Thou hast great fortune to this day, for I am Sir Savannah, Knight of the South. How may I be of assistance to y'all?
First, how do we know you're really a knight?
Doth thou not hear the way I speaketh?
He definitely sounds like a knight. Definitely.
And doth thou not see my gallant steed?
He definitely has a gallant steed. Definitely.
And hath I not an able squire?
Good morrow. Truly I am an able squire. He definitely looks like an able squire. Definitely. Okay. I'm convinced you're a knight. You'll do.
Wonderful. Now what can I do for y'all?
Okay, let's go back to doth not hear the way I speak it. Okay. So remember how I was talking about how comedy is all about energy and crescendos? So this is one of those moments. Because the definitely is the funny part. You keep saying definitely. So it needs to get bigger every single time. Okay? So first, how do we know that you're really a knight? That's the lowest energy point. Right? Doth not hear the way I speak it. He definitely sounds like a knight. Definitely. And doth not see my valiant steed. He definitely definitely.
So there you go, a little bit of Stone Dragon Soup. We're not going to reveal too much of the magic of theater by letting you listen into too much on the direction going on from Pastor H.A. But again, we want to thank him so very much as we're going to head back towards the main hallway here. So we're not taking up space or time for the rehearsal. We do want to thank him for allowing us to be part of the rehearsal and to show us a little bit of Stone Dragon Stew. We'll head on out.
A platform, yeah. And of course, you know, AJ has so much experience himself, and so he is really doing a great job of coaching the kids. Like you saw, you know, hey, this needs to grow, and teaching them some of the principles of how you actually get a laugh on stage.
How you do theater. It's
Yeah, how you do
it's an art and a science and a little bit of magic mixed in as well. So again, I mean it's a great end result, and the kids love it, and they always miss it when it's gone. They're always like, I wish we could do more. And the nice thing about it is that they can, because it'll be next year, and of course there are other performances throughout the year, and many of them need little kids sometimes to be able to come out and do some stuff. So plenty of opportunities still, but mostly you get to make some friends, you get to have some fun, and for many kids experience something.
Instance,
Yeah.
we didn't quite have time to finish the carrots, so so this is our, you know, carrots for the stew. And so they have to finish this today. But that's the kind of thing. It's like, okay, how can we take a piece of paper and make it into a prop? So there's a little problem solving for them, and then actually, you know, putting them together. And I said, well, how can we get green stuff on the ends? Oh, well, okay. So they've been cutting and putting these together. And their session kind of ran out by the time they got this far. But those three girls are going to work after they eat lunch today and finish that up. We also have potatoes that we made and onions.
All right.
And yeah, so all kinds of things like that, just letting the kids, you know, do some problem solving, do, you know, some creative arts in that aspect. They also, when they did the costuming, and Julie Hall came in and did that, that's her forte. She loves the costume room upstairs.
Well, a lot of the little kids seem to love the costumes too.
Yeah, so we talked about that, but yeah, she kind of knew their character. So they had to kind of do a little study on the first night and read the story and try and figure out what would their character look like and go from there. So yeah. So it's fun. It's fun to let all these kids
Yes, indeed.
get into their own, you know, character and understand that, you know, you have to be somebody else.
Yeah.
You can't be yourself on stage or somebody else on stage.
Yeah. So, and the best thing about it is that the entire community gets to join in on the fun on Thursday when you have your actual performance. And again, it's 7 o'clock, and it'll be about an hour, give or take. So a great way to come on out, help support these kids, help support the Huber. A lot of the funds that are raised, the free will donations go to operational expenses of this facility. So again, well worthy of your support. So again, we encourage you to come on out and support the kids on a Thursday. And again, don't forget, this is the first of 2 youth performances coming up this summer after we do the Stone Dragon Stew. We can look forward to July and Guys and Dolls.
Correct. And with Guys and Dolls, again, the kids are going to be even more involved in the set making, props, and costuming. So we've already got kind of like committees set up so that when they're not on stage, then they're working on whatever their project is. So those kids are, you know, going to be involved again in that problem solving, figuring out what the musical really is, what kind of era it is, what kind of clothing should they be wearing, what kind of accessories should they have, what do the shoes look like. Go find them. We've got them, so you go find them, and then we approve and say, no, that's too much.
The general public auditions at the end of July for the October performance, Little Shop of Horrors.
Correct. Yeah, we encourage you if you've never been on stage, or maybe you did a high school production and you haven't done anything since, but you'd like, to get involved more, we would encourage you to come out and do auditions, because there's a lot of little parts, and it doesn't have to be a speaking role for some of the adults. We just need, and a lot of them, it just needs a chorus member or, background people. And there's, in the Little Shop of Horrors, the setting is like a street setting in a city. And so there are, the bums, and there's the old lady with their shopping bag. The patient itself, yeah.
It's one of those little roles that you can make a big impression with just a little time on stage.
Yeah, and some of those character roles, you could steal the show if you're,
People may not realize this, but the film version, that part was played, that started Jack Nicholson's career. He played that role in the Roger Corman, way back.
Way back when.
So that'll be an awful lot of fun, and then, of course, lots of great holiday stuff coming up as well. We also want to, again, reiterate, the third Thursday of every month in June, July, and August, the free concert on the Huber patio, and that'll be Kids Night in June, and then it'll be Crafters Night, Crafter Vendor Night or whatever in July, and then it'll be Farmers Market in August. And again, food, either here on site, or there's going to be food trucks at the various events. Great music and lots of other stuff to do as well. And they start a little earlier this year. In years past, they've gone from 7 to 9, but this year they're a little earlier. Makes it a little easier on families and kids as well. So they go from 5:30 until 7 p.m. So we encourage you to mark that on your calendar to come out and enjoy some great talent from around the area that'll be performing here at the Huber. And aside
Swing Band. They are scheduled for September. I don't have those dates in my head right now, but we'll cover that in the future.
We'll be back in August, so I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anything coming up in June or July. So again, we want to thank Chris for having us here again this month. Thanks to Early Harris, to AJ Swanson, and to all these little kids for being part of our program this month as well. Thanks to you for joining us, and thanks to the Huber Opera House for their underwriting support of Hicksville Community Television and underwriting the Huber Happening Live program every other month. It's always a pleasure, Chris, to be out here, and I always ask before we wrap up if there's anything that you want to mention that we didn't get to through the course of the half hour?
A lot of the fall events.
All right, sounds great. And again, if you want to get more information about anything happening here at the Huber Opera House and Community Center, including whether or not it'll be available if you want to rent part of the space here for an event that you have coming up for a business, family, personal, whatever the case may be, upcoming shows, performances, whatever, you can find all of it online. You're on Facebook, right?
We are.
Yeah, okay. You can search for them on Facebook. I thought we went over that last time. And contact information for Chris or for the office is there as well. So again, always a pleasure. Want to thank you for joining us again this month. Want to thank all of you for joining us here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel. With that, we're going to wrap it up. Our next live stream is going to be coming up on Friday at about 6 o'clock. We're going to be doing a bit of an intro to kick off the Night of Lights celebration out at the school. So be sure to join us for that coming up on Friday evening. And so until then, thanks again for Chris, and from the Huber Opera House, I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again real soon right here on HIX-TV.